Everyone, this is Rashawn Ellis for News, Views, and Conversations for Urban Beats Radio 2. Just wanted to pop in and talk about a lot of the highlights that have been going on around the Democratic National Convention, which just happened this past week. Lots going on with that. Even a lot going on with the undecided voters, which were on CNN the other night. Lots going on, but the Democratic National Convention did not disappoint. A lot of celebrities showed up and showed out. Lil Jon from Atlanta, of course, he definitely got it hype for us. DJ Cassidy, he's the best when it comes to DJing and, letting everybody, do their thing across the board when it comes to music. The Obamas were there, the Clintons, Kerry Washington, Kamala Harris's nieces were there. So it was really a packed house on the Democratic, and everything was phenomenal, and we got a lot out of her speech as well. But I want to hit on the subject of the undecided CNN voters. One of them in particular, Brian Rosado. When I first sat and I listened to the panel of all the people that were saying either they were decided, undecided, even down to what they rated her Democratic speech to be, did that influence, them wanting to vote for her or not? There was one in particular, Brian Rosado. That one particularly, I knew something was up with this guy, as if he was put in position and staged to be there. But turns out he is actually a Trump supporter. So I'm like, okay, that explains why we got a lot of pushback that we got back from him as far as, whether he vote for her or not. What did he grade her speech as? Which of course he gave her a C, and everyone else on the panel gave her between an A, B, B plus. But he was the only one that was like the killjoy of the whole thing. So I just want to show you this video of all what he had to say and the back and forth that went along with that.
A Meidas Touch exclusive, our editorial team has exposed that one of the so-called undecided voters on the CNN panel that weighed in after Vice President Kamala Harris's historic DNC speech, well, let's just say he was not so undecided and has a history of posting pro-Trump stuff over and over again, including posting Donald Trump's mugshot, including making posts to Elon Musk saying that Donald Trump should be reinstated on Twitter, including making posts that were critical of former Vice President Pence certifying the results of the 2020 election. Doesn't quite seem like an undecided voter. So I want to show you our expose that's just going absolutely viral right now. And then I want to show you how we uncovered who this so-called undecided voter really is. Let's take a look at Meidas Touch, our website. Let's take a look right here. Bring Back Trump, CNN's undecided voter panelist, has pro-Trump social media history. Meet Brian Rosado, who was disappointed that Mike Pence didn't overturn the election for Donald Trump, and CNN tried to act like this was an undecided voter. And just think about it like this. Remember, CNN had 8 individuals on that panel, and they all gave Vice President Kamala Harris somewhere between an A or a B in terms of the marks they gave, except this guy who gave her a C. And then all the other undecided voters raised their hands and said that they were going to now be voting for Vice President Kamala Harris. Other than this guy who said that based on Vice President Kamala Harris's speech, he's now going to be voting for Donald Trump because he thinks that she isn't ready. That was then immediately used by right-wing social media accounts, by Trump accounts, and then pushed out. So you have to wonder, did CNN either not vet this guy, or was CNN complicit? Let's go through this story a little bit more. So a man introduced as an undecided voter during a CNN segment following Kamala Harris's speech on day 4 of the Democratic National Convention has a history of supporting MAGA online. CNN host Gary Tuckman said all of the panelists claimed to be undecided voters at that time. But now meet Brian Rosado, who when asked to grade Kamala Harris's speech, gave it a C, While the other 7 panelists rated either an A or a B when asked to explain his grade, Rosado said that she wasn't clear enough on her policies. I feel like more so she should wait. I don't want to personally vote for someone that is a backup. I'm going to show you his clip, and then I'm going to surgically show you the receipts about who Bryant Rosado really is. Let's play this clip.
First thing I want to ask you, I want you to grade the speech, okay? A is excellent, B above average, C average, D below average. We all know what F is. Let's start with you. How do you grade the speech?
I gave her a B+.
B.
B plus.
A.
B+. A.
A.
C.
C. So
Okay, Rosado then confirmed he wasn't ready to vote for Vice President Kamala Harris. Moments later, he raised his hand, indicating that he was ready to make a commitment. When asked, he stated that he was now going to be voting for Donald Trump. All right, so we then found out about this guy's social media history. He started to post from the CNN studio, so we confirmed that it was him, and his account was The Real Estate Guy. You see his posts right here on his story saying he was at the CNN studio. Then, the Trump campaign quickly seized upon Rosado's comments, using them as an attack on Kamala Harris. Several pro-Trump accounts then amplified his comments across social media, including the Trump War Room, which is associated with the Trump campaign. So Meidas Touch then uncovered that despite telling CNN that he was an undecided voter who just decided to vote for Trump, Rosado has a substantial MAGA social history, including a video of himself shooting an AK-47, which he purchased. An owner of such a weapon is unlikely to be undecided, as Kamala Harris has expressed support for banning assault weapons. Rosado's social media history, then reviewed by Meidas Touch, revealed that he has been posting pro-Trump content for years. Meidas Touch did not locate any post indicating support for Kamala Harris or Democrats, but we did find numerous pro-Trump and MAGA Republican posts. Here's what we found. Trump's mugshot. On Twitter, Rosado retweeted Trump's mugshot multiple times. The retweet of Donald Trump's post of the mugshot contained a link to Trump's website, which redirected to a fundraising page. Doesn't sound so undecided to me. Rosado also reposted Elon Musk's quote tweet of the mugshot post where Elon Musk said, "Next level." He then retweeted Don Jr.'s mugshot post as well, which read, "Hey Deep State, he's coming for you. See you on January 20th, 2025. So the CNN undecided voter doesn't seem to be so undecided, saying, "Hey Deep State, he's coming for you. See you on January 20th, 2025. There's other pro-Trump posts. Bryant Rosado has other pro-Trump social media posts that we located. In 2022, Rosado tagged Elon Musk in a tweet asking to, quote, "bring back Trump and make Twitter great again." He retweeted a picture of Trump at Mar-a-Lago with another call to reinstate Trump on Twitter. In October 2022, Rosado again asked for Elon Musk to, quote, "bring back Trump." In another tweet on the same day, Rosado again pleaded with Elon Musk to, quote, "bring Trump back." He also retweeted Trump's account using the hashtag MAGA. Rosado then reposted Eric Trump's "I love Goya" tweet after the CEO of the company associated himself with Trump back on July 11th of 2020. You take a look at Rosado's Instagram follows. Rosado follows Trump, Don Jr., and Candace Owens from his real estate business account at The Real Estate Guy. When it comes to January 6th, Rosado indicated disappointment that Vice President Mike Pence refused to overturn the Electoral College vote for Trump. Rosado replied, shake my head," to a CNBC tweet on January 6th, reporting that Mike Pence reject Trump's call to overturn Biden's election. You see it right there. Shake my head. Lumen. Then he talks about the Great Reset. In October 2021, Rosado claimed, quote, "the global reset was starting due to mass internet outages. The global reset is a conspiracy theory pushed by MAGA Republicans and QAnon supporters, claiming a secret cabal is attempting to reshape the world to their evil agenda." You see his post right there. Then when it comes to AOC, Rosado interacted with pro-Trump account Benny Johnson, criticizing AOC for comments about her Twitter account. Rosado wrote, quote, "super full of herself. Tell her to pay $8. And you see it right there. Rosado then reposted an account claiming Elon Musk owned AOC. Rosado himself replied to AOC's critique that Twitter wasn't working well for a product that charges $8. Rosado replied, "Pay the $8, clown emoji," which was a common refrain from right-wing accounts at the time. With respect to President Joe Biden, Rosado has attacked and amplified attacks on Joe Biden. In January 2023, Rosado replied to Biden, quote, "You are confused, bro." He also amplified an attack from Benny Johnson on Joe Biden that said, "What if people talked like Joe Biden? Awkward." In April 2020, Rosado replied Trump 2020 to a Joe Biden tweet stating, quote, "Our planet cannot afford 4 more years of Donald Trump." And then he did hashtag Trump 2020. He also reposted a video of Tucker Carlson discussing the MAGA Republicans' use of FJB and "Let's Go Brandon," phrases used by Trump supporters to attack Biden. With respect to Candace Owens, Rosado has expressed support for her. In March, after the Daily Wire parted ways with her, he posted on Facebook, "Thank God for Candace Owens. Owen was dropped by the Daily Wire after making anti-Semitic comments." In replies to his post, Rosado defended Owens, calling her his hero. Rosado claimed Candace Owens, quote, "represents everybody." Rosado said he likes Candace Owens' voice and he agrees with her 100% of the time. He even suggested Elon Musk should hire Candace Owens after her split from the Daily Wire. In terms of pro-Trump accounts, Rosado has interacted with other pro-Trump accounts. Yeah, we got the receipts, folks. We get very detailed here at the Meidas Touch Network. Rosado is an apparent fan of Andrew Tate, but didn't like Aiden Ross sniffing the seat of Andrew Tate. Trump recently interviewed chair sniffer Aiden Ross at his Mar-a-Lago home. You see him reposting Andrew Tate over and over again, and Andrew Tate was recently arrested on sex trafficking charge. Rosado retweeted a post indicating support for Elon Musk. MAGA Republicans have always consistently praised Elon Musk. He has also reposted Elon Musk criticizing advertisers who left Twitter due to concerns over content moderation. Rosado indicated he was unmoved by Kamala Harris's speech and was now voting for Trump on CNN and claimed to be an undecided voter. I'll let you make the decision if you think that's an undecided voter right there. But what seems most likely to be the case is that he was always a Trump supporter, as his pro-Trump social media history indicates. And the fact that he was disappointed in Mike Pence for not overturning the 2020 election doesn't really sound like an undecided voter to me. Now, you want to see our methodology of how we found this out? Well, he was on CNN, so the way we were able to uncover who he was is that we found his face on CNN. We then were able to look through a face search to see where he was as well. And we found his LinkedIn page. We then found his social media page. And then we were able to kind of pinpoint all of the posts that he had made over the years. And it was right there. It was, look, it took us some research. It took us some amount of diligence. But I want to frame this in the appropriate context here with CNN. Now, CNN had an obligation and duty to its viewers. This was one of the most pivotal moments in American history. The DNC had concluded. Vice President Kamala Harris gave her historic speech that you saw that she gave. And CNN then cut to this panel of 8 undecided voters. And there were people watching this who depend on CNN, even though I think there's a lot of cord cutting for obvious reasons. So at this most pivotal moment in American history, CNN represented that this Bryant Rosado was completely undecided. And you think about how calculated it was as well, right? Brian Rosado said, well, I'm going to give it a C. And they tried to make it look as though it were some active deliberations taken. They didn't want to, he wasn't going to say it was an F, right? Because that would have been kind of obvious. So they tried to play people in that way. And, you could judge for yourself. You could form your own opinions. I'll form mine and share them with you. But let me know what you think right there, because, I think that's what CNN should have done. And when you hear me saying, CNN and the corporate media are doing this and that, sometimes I'm like, I'm not trying to sound conspiratorial here. because when you say it, sometimes it sounds a little bit like, all right, Ben, what are you talking about? But when you see that they're putting this person on a panel, pushing him out to we the people as undecided, and there's this history, you have to wonder, either one, there's zero vetting going on. In this billion-dollar company, by the way, we operate on, you know how we raise money here. We have growmeidas.com. We have patreon.com/MeidasTouch. We have the emojis when you become members. There's store.meidastouch.com when we have gear. And we have pro-democracy sponsors. That's how we are able to fund this operation, okay? They have billionaires and decamillionaires, so they have all the resources in the world, not growmeidas.com, which, by the way, I'm grateful for when you go there. That's what they have. So they either do zero vetting with all of their resources, zero vetting, and they're that lazy, or they're doing this intentionally and maliciously. So it's either grossly reckless or intentional and malicious. Put in the comments how you feel. And if you like the work of our editorial team, now go to patreon.com/MeidasTouch and let's keep growing that editorial team. Or go to growmeidas.com or check out store.meidastouch.com. All ways you can help grow this so we can keep doing work like that. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million subscribers together.
So as you can see, he is deep down in the trenches. As far as a Trump supporter, as far as, his whole deal with being on that end, as far as supporting Trump. This is why I say it's good to go and do your research to find out if you have any questions or any doubts about anything or anyone specifically, as to all the different political things that are going on, especially today. Definitely go and do your research so that you can find out who these people are, what they stand for, like what's really behind them. When I first saw him, I just knew something was suspicious about him. I was like, he doesn't look right. And I just kept thinking to myself, I said, he looks like he's up to no good. So I tuned into my regular channel, the Meidas Touch. They are very good and very versed in, getting their information and doing their research. So I happened to, be on YouTube like I always am, looking and trying to find out like what else is at play here. And boom, found out what was going on. So I said, okay, this is why I always say to research, go and do your own research for yourself. So that way you have firsthand information, you know exactly what you've heard and where it came from. So definitely get a chance to go out there and, like find out about all the different things about what's going on, whether it's Trump supporters, even checking CNN to make sure, what's going on here. Like, didn't you vet all your panel guests before you had them on the show? As I always say, check behind everybody, even check behind me. But anyway, definitely check out today's show for our news, views, and conversations. If you have any shows that you may want me to do topics on, definitely put it in the comment section, and I can definitely do that. I hope you guys are having a great Sunday, and I'll see you next week.